I bet you're curious as to what I have here. Well, I ordered something the other day and it came in the mail earlier than I expected, so I'm gonna open it on camera and tell you about it. Essentially, it's for the space program, but you know, you'll see that in a moment. Big package. Now, I ordered this just so I could have something nice to build. This is the Mean Machine. You're probably wondering, what is the Mean Machine? Well, my friends, big rocket. I actually had one of these rockets a long time ago, before I started the space program, like when I was around like 8 or something. And I was gonna launch it with my father, but we didn't end up doing it. It never happened. But luckily, I can have one now, and they're like $30. So I thought, let's go eat your big rocket. The great thing about this rocket is that it's a very big one. It's not tiny like at all. And by that I mean it's like 6 feet tall. Why buy a rocket this big? Well, the thing is, I've been wanting to make some big rockets with Sir Speedo for quite a bit. In this video, it won't involve him. It'll involve me building this thing, and he'll be here when we end up launching it. This is actually going to be me both creating and painting the rocket. Now, I think I might take the paint that I used for my Infinity Gauntlet project. You know, the one that's always been over near my desk and everything? I bet you've probably seen it before in the background of some videos. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I have all the paint left over from that. I've had nothing else to use it for. This is going gold, baby. The thing about this rocket is that the body of it are these 4 tubes. And you can see that just on its own, 2 of these tubes is equal to a rocket bigger than most of the ones we've already launched. Good thing is that it actually uses around 4! My point is that it's a big rocket, and I'm extremely excited to launch it because it uses an E engine. Now, I know it's not as powerful as something like a D, and I could fit one in there, but the problem is the fact that it just doesn't have the thrust that the E has, you know? The D does not have, like, you know, a thrust time that the E does. So, you know, the E goes for roughly around 3.5 seconds, D goes for like 2, you know, yeah, just not as good. Although it packs more of an initial punch, it's not as visually pleasing to see when it goes up for a couple seconds aside to, you know, like 3. And although 3 seconds is not that much time, you gotta remember, if you really think about it, it is a decent amount of time for it to go up, because that's just rocket thrust going up for 3 full seconds. And it's a big amount of time in terms of rockets, okay? So it appears that everything is already out of the box, and what I can see so far is that I have the body tubes, I have what I assume is the connector for the inner bits of it, I have the big nose cone, I don't know what these are, I'm assuming they're also connecting bits, I have the parachute bit, and something that is pretty nice, I have laser cut balsa wood fins, which I'll just pop out real quick. So one thing I actually learned is that when this rocket, you know, the size of it it's big, you know, it's a huge rocket, but the thing is, how are you going to keep it together? Tape? No. The way that they have it is they actually have a screw lock system in the middle, which goes into one body tube and one other body tube, and the thing that it does is there's 2 little notches carved into the side. You can't see it, but, you know, they're in the inside of there, and there's 2 little tiny dots of plastic on the sides. And what that does is you slide it in, right? And now I know you can pull it out and everything just fine, but then you twist it on tight. Now I'm not going to document the entire process of me building this because I'd rather actually end up watching some you know, videos or something on my phone while doing it, you know, so I can have something to do in the meantime. But I figured that what I might as well do is take out these instructions here. Okay. Anyway, take out the instructions here and I'll build this thing all up nice and well, and, well, I mean, yeah, we should be ready to go, you know, in a couple hours. Even though I won't be launching it for a couple days. But hey, I mean, I got a big rocket still. So one thing I've been looking at now is that I actually have to go apparently sand down these fins. I never realized that you need as much stuff that, you know, is needed on here. I actually do have everything, but it just confused me, because I thought, like, you know, most of the stuff would come with the rocket, apparently, but you know, you need stuff. I mean, this stuff is pretty easy to get, like scissors, pencils, and a ruler, but you need carpenter's glue, plastic, cement, a hobby knife, masking tape, and primer, paint, clear coat. Why? Like, I can get some of the stuff, like, you know, the paints and everything. Sure, you might want to decorate the rocket later, or maybe, I mean, even the sandpaper, but carpenter's glue? Really? I mean, you know, Honestly, I don't even have carpenter's glue, but you know what I do have? I have Gorilla Glue. Anyway, I'm off to sand these. I'm gonna come back when I'm done. Fins have been sanded, now on to the rest. I'll be honest, I've been working at this for around 30 to 45 minutes, and I have no idea what's happening. I genuinely have no clue how to build this thing, because the way that they make these instructions, I don't get it, and they literally don't make sense at all. They have contradicting measurements, which I'm sure makes sense in the long run, but the tube itself for the engine mount, and by the way, this is just a product of my labors. This isn't even fully built. This is just what I've been, like, trying to do based off the images. Get this, right? See, this is the engine mount, right? Well, it says that this full thing should be about 3 7/8 inches. It's actually 4 inches long, which is not how it should be. I know 1/8 of an inch isn't really that much, but like, come on now. I would at least like parts that are exact. What I'm gonna try to do now is I have this, right? And I'm actually gonna stick an engine in it, and then I'm going to glue in the rings and everything based off of that, because I have no idea how to actually properly do this. So, innovation. And besides, it'll give the rocket a little bit of personal flair if I make the parts myself, because I think the body tubes, they're the only thing that is actually going to be easy to assemble here. Although I may now be completely covered in Gorilla Glue, it's been about an hour, and I actually got everything to kind of come together. Not the whole rocket, but a lot of it. This is what I have now. I put the fins on, I got the engine mount in there, I put an engine in there just to kind of see how it looks. Looks pretty good. Though the cone is just to have a, nice little look to it right now. But that's not what you do. You actually take this off, and you add 3 more of these booster things. It's gonna be big. I'm gonna keep on building the body, and I'll come back in a little bit. I added one of the 3 other little pipes to the thing, and I gotta say, it's already a really big rocket. So it's been a little bit longer, and I've actually been working for quite a while now, and, well, I pretty much finished the thing. I don't have too much left of it, but, let's just say this thing is much bigger than I expected. Like, I mean, I knew how big it would be, but I didn't think how large it would be compared to me. And compared to Sir Speedo, I can't even explain to you, because guess what? He is shorter than me. Let me show you what I mean by this wonderful big rocket. Alright, so look, you have the secondary body piece here, correct? Well, you also have this. Now, this has a type of lock system to hold it all together, where there's 2 little nubs on the side, like I said from earlier. I think you can kind of see them a bit. Yeah, you can see them a bit better now. And on the inside, there's these 2 little grooves. Well, what you do is you take this, and then you slide it into those grooves, and then you turn it to lock it. Now it's stuck in place. What? Oh, it keeps going? Yeah, it's a big rocket! Let me just show you the sheer size of this behemoth of a thing. I don't know, but we go down, right? And you see at the bottom here, you got your fins. You got your little tiny bit at the bottom where the engine goes. Yeah, right. And then you keep going up a bit, and then we go up some more, and then we keep going up for a bit, and get this, you keep going up. Oh, look at this, it keeps going, and now we're finally at the top. What does this mean? Big rocket! I mean, look at that. It's not even like it doesn't even look like it should work, but apparently it does. It's apparently very stable, because the larger the rocket, it's kind of like, think of it like this. You know when you're trying to stand a, like, broom or something on your hand, and then you have it at the, bottom so you can hold it better? Yeah, it's a closed feedback loop, okay? So your brain has messages that tell you where to go to get the brooms, that you can balance it, right? It's easier to do with taller objects. So the taller the object is, pretty much the more stable it is, except if you have a building or anything that isn't stable that is tall. Anyway, I'm not ending the video here, of course not. No, I was thinking maybe I should, but no, I still have some more stuff to do involving tomorrow. Where, the same, remember the Infinity Gauntlet thing? Yeah, well, same paint for this, right, I have over here. It's in a little spray bottle thing. It's a primer, I believe. Metal primer and coating. That's what this is, and I'm gonna use it to spray paint this whole rocket. I'm going to make it gold, because I figure, hey, gold's a pretty nice color, and why not color the entire rocket that? The craziest part to me is how little this thing weighs. I mean, to be honest with you, it actually just, I can't really describe the fact it probably weighs maybe 3 times less than one of our tinier rockets. That's how well that these things are made. See, the ones that we use, they're very thick tubing. They're hard to get off the ground. They're kind of dense. It's a fiasco all the way around. That's why I feel like with these big tubes, they'll actually work pretty well, because, I mean, since they're much wider, they have a better ability to kind of correct themselves. But this thing, it's supposed to go around 900 feet. I don't know if I said that or not. I probably did. But you know what? They're supposed to go relatively high, and the parachute that makes the thing another, like, couple feet. So it's the next day, and get this, I got a donut. Anyway, I'm gonna go out and start spray painting this thing. I'm gonna actually color the whole thing gold. I know I most likely said that before, but yeah, I'm gonna go out, paint down the whole thing in a little bit. I'm actually gonna go try and launch it. So let's go. Paint. Rocket. All right, let's get on our way. Well, I'm out here with the rocket and the paint, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have it where I stick this pole into the ground, put the rocket on top of it, and then I'm gonna spray paint it over. Once it's dry, I'm gonna take it off, and then I should be able to launch it. So I'll come back when that's done, because I'd rather be sitting out here listening to something than just constantly recording. Actually, you know what? Now that I have this thing set up, just look at this. This thing is gorgeous, I'll be honest. It's a really nice looking rocket. I'm gonna actually take off the little thing for the paint now, the little red guide thing, so I can actually properly start doing this. So now that that's off, we can go ahead and do a little spritz and get this all done. You know what, actually, I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm going to come out here with some gloves and a respirator, because for one, I don't want to breathe this stuff in, and two, this is going to take a bit. So I just walked upstairs after painting that because I wanted to wash my hands off and stuff like that, but I actually managed to get it completely coated, and I gotta say, it's looking pretty nice. Now, I'm not the best at painting, but I think I did a pretty alright job. But not the best, not the worst, but you know, it gets the job done. Anyway, I'll be waiting until that thing dries in a bit so I can go and give it a launch. You know what, I figure actually I'll just wait till Sir Speedo gets here tomorrow to launch it. I mean, you know, I figured that he's the guy that I always launch him with, so why not just wait for it to dry a little bit more tonight? And you know, if I do that, maybe I can paint some more stuff on it. Maybe I could put some more details. Who knows? I don't. Though, don't worry. Don't you worry. I will be launching a rocket tonight. This one again. He was going to come over tonight to do this, but it never ended up happening. So you know what? I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go out right now and fire this off. Gonna be a good night. You know, scratch that idea. I actually was looking for my launch controller and wondered, hey, where is that? Well, because I had to launch it with other people, which I'm not really planning on doing in the future, unless it's for Speedo, we left the thing out here. It's right there. You know, see? I'm very angry. The problem is, I'm pretty sure it rained a couple nights, and I don't know if the electronics on the inside are broken, or if it's just the batteries. Regardless, it won't turn on. It's not really that big of a problem, because I can go out and buy a new one, but I don't want to spend another, like, $30-something on a launch controller that I did not mean to leave out here, because I was distracted. There's, like, 4 people out here, and then someone took something, someone took another thing, and we just kind of left. I didn't think this was still out here, because one of them said that they grabbed it. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the house and see if this thing still works with new batteries. And if not, I'm gonna be angry, but alas, I'll have to get a new one. Actually, I just remembered that you have to have the 2 leads touching each other for the circuit to completely connect, so I just did that, pressed the button, boom, the thing works like magic. So, luckily I won't have to buy a new one, which makes me very happy, because I didn't want to do that. So with that out of the way, let's go back, grab our rocket and pole, and we can get a launch done before the sun sets. Alright, my friends, daylight is fleeting, and we only have such a long time before we are able to not launch this, so I'm going now. I feel by the time I get there and get back, I'd have biked a mile, because I biked down there once to see if the launcher was there, then biked back, got the rocket, biked here, then I'll have to bike back again. I'm tired. Anyway, aside from that, I'll see you at the launch site. Alright, I'm back out here with the controller, and I'm just gonna set this all up and launch. Okay, well, we're out here now. The sunlight's almost gone. So you know what? I am gonna take this, I'm gonna push it in. Red light. Uh-oh. Alright, I fixed the issue. So, on the count of 3, we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Oh, this is going great. Come on. Uh-oh. That's not very good. Come on. Ejection. Uh-oh. Well, it seems the parachute is not ejected. That's not very good, I think. I feel I just heard like a thump some way this way, so I'm gonna go check that out. I don't know why the parachute didn't go. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna record this bit, but I'm gonna go looking for this. If I can't find it within like 10 minutes, then I'll go back and, that's a rocket gone. Well, I'm assuming that just went into the lake, because I can't seem to find it. I don't exactly know how that happened, or why, because it was a perfectly fine motor and a perfectly fine rocket. But you know what? Oh well. I am annoyed because now I don't have a rocket like that to launch the C motor, so I guess I'll have to go buy another one for probably, I mean, they're like $5. Depending on the model, but still, I'm not happy. I mean, I'm happy, but I guess I'm kind of neutral about it, because the thing worked just fine, but where's the parachute charge, huh? Where's that? If it did land on the land, well, I have no idea where it's at, because I can't find it. It's just, it must be inside some grass or something. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care all that much, because I don't want to go looking for this when it's almost going to be sunset. So you know what? I hate to the day. Aside from everything that went right, I am still semi-happy and upset. It's not a good time, nor is it a bad time. I'd say for today, it was mediocre.